Now up to Eugene and back to Pac-12 play, so we bring in our WCSN baseball writer, Nick Batters. And Nick, some promising stuff coming from ASU baseball recently. Winners of 6 of their last 8. What do you attribute the success to, and how much should fans read into it right now?
Well, to start off the bat, fans honestly shouldn't read into this too much because this is arguably the easiest part of ASU's schedule. They played a Washington State team that currently sits last in the Pac-12, and then a Cal State Bakersfield team that just isn't that good. So ASU, like you said, winners of 6 of their last 8, and Gage Cannon's been a big part of that. He's hitting over 500 in his last 15 games, and the defense has really sharpened up the bullpen, especially against Washington State, and in those first 2 games against Cal State Bakersfield, was able to hold it. Pitching was sharp, the defense was sharp, and Gage Cannon, his bats, as hot as they come. And
they're going to have to stay sharp this weekend, though, on the road against a tough Oregon team that's hovered around the middle to top of the conference all year. What are some keys to that one, and what's their season looking like coming forward following that Eugene game?
So the keys to the Oregon series, it's going to be what ASU is really doing in those last few games. They have to make sure their defense is strong, and the pitching, they have all 3 guys that have started on Friday night and going this weekend as their starting pitchers, so that's going to be huge. But looking ahead to the rest of the ASU schedule, there are some tough games here. The team that they'll play in this weekend, Oregon, they took 2 out of 3 from the same Cal Berkeley team that obliterated ASU earlier on. Stanford's ranked number 20, and then you see Arizona, they play 4 games against them. Arizona is ranked 12th in the country. So some really tough teams there. Washington, they knocked off Oregon State, who was at one point the top team in the country. And then over there to close out the season, you have the University of Utah, and Utah, they won the Pac-12 conference last year. So this is not at all an easy schedule, and it's really tough going forward.
And looking at this, there's been a lot of talk this year about the Sun Devils hitting that 30-win mark. It's a historical mark. Can you explain why, and do you think they end up with 30 wins come the end of the season?
So there have only been 2 seasons that ASU did not win 30 games in their history. The last time they didn't win 30 games was in 1962. Man. So that means they've had 54 straight seasons of finishing with at least 30 wins. And not only that, but they've only finished with a record under 500 once in the program history. And with the track they're on right now with a record of 18-20, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. In order for ASU to finish above 30 wins in these last 17 games, they have to go 12-5. And with games against ranked teams like Stanford, Arizona, tough Washington and Oregon teams like I talked about as well, it doesn't get easier. Not only that, they're going to have to win at least 10 games if they want to finish above 500. So it's a tough schedule. It's a really monumental thing that's come here at Arizona State, a rich program history, and honestly, things don't look good for ASU.
It's a nail-biter coming down to the end. If they want to get back on track towards that mark, they'll need to win this weekend up in Eugene. And Nick Batters will have all that coverage for you on WCSN.com.